Story time. 5 and 6. Well, I thought to talk about 7th grade and 8th grade here. I finally got into a magnet school, and some people don't know what that is. A magnet school in the Augusta, Georgia area were schools where kids who are gifted get to go to for higher education. You were put on a waiting list. Some people were put on a waiting list before they were born so that they can get there in kindergarten. I was put on the list sometime in 4th grade, I believe, and I didn't get in until 7th grade. When I was in 7th grade, my English teacher had a problem with me, a very large problem, especially since I couldn't spell, not very well. The same English teacher literally went over verbs and adjectives, I believe, for the full school year. Nothing else. At one point, she actually humiliated me in front of my class. I know that you see me sitting on my legs. This is comforting for me. It's easier for me to actually function. I was getting all my work done. I didn't bother her, but she could not stand that I didn't sit ladylike, which was my ass in the seat and my feet on the floor. And she hated the fact that I couldn't sit the way everyone else sat. So she made it her mission to embarrass me in front of the class. And when she did, I cried. When my mom found out that my teacher made me cry in front of my class, yes, she was always the first one to come to class and make sure that she was never going to do that again. My teacher and her exchanged words, and let me tell you, by the end of it, she literally had no reason to bother me because I was the only one doing all of her work, which was astronomical for even 7th grade. So the next year, another English teacher got a hold of me. But this time it was my whole class that ended up with this little gem. Now, I know I always had a hard time with my spelling, vocabulary test, and whatnot. I thought I could do at least a C for literature because it was just so hard for her to understand that I could tell you the definition of everything, but I just had such an issue with spelling for such a long time. So she decided for our midterm progress report to fail everyone in the class so that we couldn't play video games or go outside. We would have more time to focus on studying for her class. Because of her, I lost all my video game privileges for something I didn't even do. And because she literally said, "Oh, it's a progress report. None of you are going to ever remember this." But what she didn't realize was the majority of my class came to school limping because they were beat so hard because failing a progress report. She just went down the list, put F's on everything. My mom didn't believe me until college when she saw her at Walmart bragging about how she would fail students for their progress reports. My mom could not figure out for the life of her how I went from failing to B's, even A's in her class. It's because she made up the grades. I want to let everyone know, just because you're a kid doesn't mean that everything that comes out of an adult's mouth is right. And oftentimes, an adult can be a bully just as much as a kid can be a bully. Thank you, everyone. Especially if you've stayed tuned this long. I've got a few more stories. Stay tuned.